Some rooms hide secrets, and some secrets don't stay quiet.
This is the story of the night I checked into room 619, a room I should never have entered. A room that had been waiting, not for a guest, but for me. I remember the exact time because the street lights flickered on at that moment. I was tired, the kind that makes your bones weak. All I wanted was a hot shower, a warm bed, and silence. I didn't think twice. I didn't scan options. I didn't read reviews. I didn't check the price. I just needed a room, a place to lay my head. Not conditioned cold, but deep, unnatural cold. The hallway lights flickered as I walked, and something about the place made me feel like the walls were listening. I found room 619 at the very end of the hallway. The last door on the left. My footsteps slowed without me meaning to. Something in my instincts whispered, "Don't go in." I ignored it. After all, it was just a room, right? Inside the room wasn't luxurious, but it wasn't terrible. Bed in the center, old wooden wardrobe, dusty curtains, a TV on a wobbling stand, and a telephone beside the bed. I tossed my bag down, locked the door, and collapsed onto the mattress. For a while, I just lay there, letting the exhaustion bleed out of me. I didn't even realize I'd drifted into sleep until the phone rang. Who calls a hotel room that late? I tried to ignore it, hoping it would stop, but it didn't. It kept ringing and ringing. So I picked it up. "Hello." There was a moment of dead silence, and then a man's voice beckoned. "You're in my room." The voice was strange, emotionless. I frowned and responded, "I think you've got the wrong number. I just checked in." Another pause, then the voice came back, quieter, but sharper this time. "You're in room 619. My throat tightened and I answered yes. I said slowly, "And that's my room." Before I could respond, the line clicked and went dead. No goodbye, no explanation. Just silence. I lowered the phone, staring at it like it might say something else. My heartbeat was loud. Too loud. "Probably a prank," I muttered, but something in me didn't believe that. I was still sitting on the bed when the TV turned on by itself. No build-up, no static, just click power. The screen flickered with a news broadcast. The colors were wrong, too desaturated, too old, like it was coming from another decade. Immediately, it was announced on the news that bodies were being found in an undisclosed hotels on Street 619. Most victims were discovered in room 619. The screen glitched, showing flashes of a hallway that looked exactly like the one outside my room. The flickering light, the peeling wallpaper, the door numbers barely hanging on. Then the screen went black. I reached for the remote, but before I touched it, the phone rang again. The phone rang and rang. I didn't pick, and immediately I felt shivers on my skin. I grabbed my bag and immediately ran down the hallway. The lights flickered more violently now, and the floorboards creaked as though something heavy was following. I didn't look back. At the lobby, I slammed to a stop. The receptionist wasn't the same man from earlier. This time, it was a young woman, bright-eyed, alert, and confused as she looked up from her desk. "Sir, are you all right?" I quickly responded. "No," I gasped. Someone called me and said I was in his room. And the TV, the phone, something's wrong with that room. Her confusion deepened. "What room are you in?" I answered, 619. Her fingers froze above the keyboard. Then she typed and typed. When she finally looked up, her face was pale. "Sir," she whispered, "room 619 hasn't been given to anyone in a long time." The lobby got colder, quieter, the air thickened. I shouted, "No way." Someone checked me in. It was a man. She shook her head slowly. "There's no man on shift tonight." I'm the only one assigned to the front desk. My stomach dropped. There was a man who gave me the key to the room. I insisted. Again, she shook her head. Room 619 is always closed. It was sealed years ago after a guest died in it. Violently. And every year, at exactly 6:19 p.m., the front desk gets calls from that room. She swallowed hard. Calls from a number that isn't connected to any active line. My heart almost stopped. That's impossible, I whispered. But even as I said it, I knew deep down it wasn't. Everything had felt wrong from the moment I stepped inside. The cold air, the flickering lights, the voice on the phone. "Sir," she said quietly, "if he called you..." She hesitated. "He might think you're the one who replaced him." A chill ran through me so violently my teeth chattered. Behind me, somewhere deep down the hallway, the phone in room 619 began ringing again. Loud and persistent. Insistent. The woman's eyes widened. "That phone shouldn't be ringing," she whispered. But it was. And it didn't sound like it was ringing from a distance anymore. It sounded like it was ringing closer. Much closer. I turned to the corridor. The lights flickered violently every few seconds. The hallway plunged into total darkness, then stuttered back to dim light. The phone kept ringing and ringing and ringing, then it stopped. The silence was worse, much worse. Something shifted in the darkness. A figure short, still, barely visible, standing at the far end of the hallway. When the lights flickered back on, it was gone. The woman behind me whispered, "Don't go down there." But I wasn't planning to. My legs were trembling. I couldn't move if I wanted to. The lights flickered again. The figure was closer. Another flicker. Closer. Another flicker. Closer still. It was appearing. Again and again. Every blink of darkness bringing it nearer. The woman grabbed my arm. "We need to leave right now." But as she said that, the phone behind the desk began to ring. She stared at it, dread filling her eyes. Slowly, she picked it up. Front desk, her face drained of all color. Then, in a trembling voice, she said, "But sir, no one is in room 619. She looked at me. He says, "He sees you." I didn't wait. I sprinted to the entrance, grabbed the door handle, and yanked. It didn't move. I pulled again, nothing happened. The doors were locked from the inside. Behind me, footsteps echoed, slow, heavy, methodical. The woman screamed, "Sir, move!" But I couldn't. The footsteps got closer. I pressed my forehead against the glass door, gasping for air. Outside, the street was empty, silent, lifeless, like the world beyond the hotel didn't exist anymore. Something cold brushed the back of my neck. My heart stopped. Slowly, against every instinct in my body, I turned and saw the shadow of a man standing inches behind me. No face, just darkness, deep, empty, endless darkness. He leaned close, and in the same cold voice from the phone, he whispered, "You're in my room." The lights went out. The lights went out. The world vanished. I woke up and discovered myself near an abandoned construction site, boarded up with rusted sheets of metal, cracked foundation, holes in the roof, completely lifeless. No lights, no lobby, no receptionist, no room. 619, no hotel at all. I stepped backward in shock. Had I hallucinated everything? Had I fallen asleep somewhere else? Was it all a dream? But then my phone buzzed. One unread message from an unknown number, time 6:19 p.m. The message said, "I found you." My hand trembled. A second message arrived. "You left too soon." Then a third message read, "Come back to room 619. I dropped the phone and ran. I didn't stop running until I reached the main road, flagged down a passing taxi, and begged the driver to take me anywhere. As we drove away, my phone lit up one last time from the floor of the car. The caller ID flashed. Room 619 calling. Deep down, I knew that some rooms do not want visitors. Some rooms do not want guests. And some rooms do not let you leave. If you ever check into a hotel and your room number is 619, remember to ask for a different key, because he might still be there, waiting, watching. And if he calls, whatever you do, don't answer.